Look, I don't want to talk. How you try and press the kid and read.
All right, guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Let's Assess Podcast. It is supposed to snow tonight, so we can say that it's snowmobile season. Is that safe to say?
I think it's safe to say it's snowmobile season.
Okay, so with that being said, sleds, for AJ are about to be picked up. We're going to talk about our 5 essential mods. I'm going to be talking Polaris. He's going to be talking about skidoo. And obviously there's a billion mods you can do to your sled, but these we feel like are some of our 5 essentials, our 5 firsts. Some of these aren't that cheap. Some of them are cheap. So we're going to dive into that. And then at the end, we're going to do like a little bonus section. Some of the things we didn't fit in our top 5, but we still like them on our sled and they're kind of essential to us. We'll dive into those. So we can just dive in right now.
Yeah. So as most of you guys know, I'm going to be riding a skidoo this year. So my list kind of changed a little bit and I really don't know exactly what is like the need and the not need. So I'm kind of just going, with what I normally do, but a few different things because there's some stuff on the skidoo that I don't absolutely need that I did on the Polaris. Yeah. So my first must have is I'm going to do Backwoods bumpers front and back. I mow over a lot of trees and I'm not the best rider at piloting around the trees. So sometimes the front
You're better at going over the trees, and by over the trees, I mean jumping the trees.
Yeah. I'd rather jump them and then use it for traction, So
yeah, that video is sweet from last year.
Was pretty cool. It's more comfortable for me.
Yeah, way easier.
So definitely Backwoods bumpers front and back. I think the back one strengthens that tunnel for doing re-entries and all that stuff. With that skidoo cooler running back there, definitely want some strength in that. The next thing is, it makes plenty of power, but with the elevation, I want better clutching. So I will be having Speedworks clutching and exhaust on it. They, have a great product and been working very closely with Jeremy. So we're going to have some good stuff out this year and throwing stuff on at Powderbound as well. But the Speedworks clutching and exhaust can for sure will be on my sled. Might be some other Speedworks goodies. We'll see. And then I gotta put a wrap on it. I could give you the bullshit spiel of, it makes the snow not stick as good, or, it saves the plastics. It's just for looks. I like the look of a wrap.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So it's completely cosmetic. So yeah, definitely going to throw an octane wrap on there. And then, the next thing, it would be controls. So handlebars, RSI, going to be throwing a set of handlebars on there. I'm going to go with the Slim Jims this year.
I love the Slim Jims, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked to have those.
Yeah.
It's like a narrower handlebar where your grip is at, so you can have a smaller diameter grip, so you can get better, I don't know. I have fairly long fingers, but I just feel like you can grip it so much better.
Dude, I have long fingers, and I just like it. And it's partly grip for me, but also it's like arm pump. A lot of people say that they have more arm pump with a skinnier bar or a way too fat bar. Gotcha. But for me, that's kind of up to the rider. Some people say different things, but for me, it's if I have too fat of a bar, I get bad arm pump. I don't know about you.
I don't like.
It's just
fat.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable, and it feels like I'm always prying away from the sled because I don't have that finger strength. I want to be gripped on that sucker. So that's kind of my thoughts on it as well. With the skidoo, it has an adjustable brake lever on it, so I'm gonna try that first off. I'm not gonna put a brake lever on it, and I might end up having to get one, but right now I'm gonna try the stock one and see if I like it, see how I can do with it. So yeah, RSI bars for sure. That's kind of roughly 4 or 5 things. A 5th thing could potentially be, because I'm counting the clutch kit and the exhaust maybe as one, but it's definitely 2 separate things. So.
Yeah. They kind of go together.
Yeah, it's Speedworks.
Same company.
Yeah.
So quick question with that, are you tuning it or is it just...
I'm not going to do tune as of right now.
You can though.
I can do tunes with it. So
it'd be just clutching, can, and tune.
I'm not even going to do tune.
But you did.
If I did, yeah, that's probably all that'll be max that I do on it for sure for performance wise. So, but yeah, definitely clutching and can. But yeah, the tuning, I don't know. We'll see. I feel like it has plenty of power. I don't need it. It's not like a Polaris. It doesn't have that bad dead spot on the bottom. So I don't know. But come mid-season, I might be feeling frisky. I don't know.
You will.
I probably will. But
you will.
got to try it at least.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always go back. The one thing I am not going to do is I'm not going to go away from 91 this year. I do know that. I'm going to stay 91. I'm not going to go to 100 LL, and I will stay 91 with it.
I will stay 100 LL.
You will?
Yeah, the smell's just too good.
I will miss that.
Yeah.
It's just such a pain with the business because we have like the fuel here. And then it was like, well, got to pull my sled in and fill it out of a gas can.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of sucked. But
And when you're riding that much, it's easier on the body to not pump a ton of power, but just like, I mean, dude,
enough.
A boost or a turbo, whatever you want to call it, whatever manufacturer you buy, dude, it's got a ton of power from the factory. I mean, let's be honest.
No, plenty. Absolutely plenty, yeah.
But sometimes you like to get a little frisky and get something else under you that just feels cooler.
Yeah, I feel like we have that in common of just building sleds.
Yeah.
Why is it just like, even if it doesn't even take that long to tune it and like, it's just like, got the tuned sled. I don't know. It's just cool. So anyway, back to it. Fifth thing. This is going to be a toss up for my fifth thing here and then to have the extra. But DuraPro ski rubbers, I think, would probably have to be my next thing, just because that can like wreck your day on a big send if your ski rubber's blown. So I think DuraPro ski rubber would have to be my fifth thing. And then my bonus would be Ice Age spindles. Those, I rode them on Marcus's sled last year, and it seemed like it really helped it when I tried one with and without. So I do think I'll probably end up with those on there.
Okay.
Another bonus thing for me would be a Seatco seat cover. I think just having that extra traction on there, it's definitely a big thing. God, I could go on and on as I remember things here.
I have more than I'm looking at my list.
Yeah.
I've added a couple.
Yep.
That's all right. It's a good conversation.
Yeah, it's a good conversation. But like those, like, let's just say those are the things I've already ordered. And then in this podcast, I'm remembering the things that I have to order because like I need some rocks, grippers, as you can see on this sled back here, maybe on the tunnel. I got to have some grippers on there for jumping. So
for doing backflips.
Totally doing backflips.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you've seen me upside down all the time.
Yeah. I mean, me too.
Well, I mean, generally with the sled on top of me, probably.
Yeah, in a tree well.
In a tree well.
Somebody help me.
Can't reach my radio, but help.
Yeah.
But
what about you gonna do suspension?
so I think that's another thing that, going skidoo, I'm going to try their suspension. I got the Expert and it came with piggyback shocks and they went to a 3-click system like the Fox, QS3. So I'm going to give them a try. I'm going to ride those shocks for the beginning of the winter and try to like learn to ride the skidoo and ride those shocks. I would not doubt if by the end of winter it has a set of Fox Airs on it, but I'm going to give it my honest effort to not spend $2,500, $3,000 on shocks right off the bat.
Yeah.
So I got to try
They
it.
look cool though.
They would look sick. They would. So, but no, I do want to try those shocks. It's a new thing on them this year. So on the Expert at least. So I do want to give that a shot and see. But that is, that's probably one of the biggest things that, that was my first thing last year was shocks. Like that was with the Polaris chassis. It was like, this thing sucks. So that's kind of nice not having that on there right now.
Yeah. Marcus upgraded though.
Yeah.
I bet you will.
I know. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Dude, you start looking at these things, you're like, it's not that expensive. And then you add it all up and it's like, holy cow, it's 10 grand worth of stuff.
Every year.
Yeah. Well,
and then 2, and then maybe 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hint, hint.
He's hinting at me getting another sled and
we'll just see about that, huh?
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, is that your thing?
That's it right there for
All
me.
right.
That's my my quick 5, and then a few bonusers in there.
Yeah, mine's gonna be the same way. So mine's for Polaris, obviously. So some of the stuff applies, some of the stuff is different. The number one thing for me, for runnability and power, I like to have the VOHK Tune and clutching and venting, which I know is 3 things. I'm gonna count it as 1. If you don't like it, sucks for you.
Well, that just gave me a free one. Cool.
Yeah. So the VOHK setup, either the 100 LL non-intercooled tune or the 100 LL intercooled tune, it just makes it run the way better. I didn't have the detonation problems. With that, you're running, like I said, 100 LL. So you're running avgas, which for me is not really hard to get my hands on. I live right next to an airport. And so it's not that big of a deal. With that, they're obviously going to do clutching. So this is kind of a package deal. The tune, the clutching, and then venting to some extent. I didn't vent this one at all. This is a non-intercooled, the 165. The 146 that's intercooled has a lot of vents on it.
Vents.
Yeah, it has vents everywhere. So that's just kind of one of the things. Okay, that's number one. Number two, suspension. Whatever brand it is that you like, I think it's worth it, especially with a heavier rider, or if you're carrying camera gear on the back, or you're riding a Polaris and you just keep bottoming the thing out. I think that suspension, although it's expensive, is 100% worth it. And you could go the used route and pick up a pair of used shocks, send them to Fox and rebuild them, send them to, whoever and get them rebuilt. Or if you don't want to spend that much money, what is Fox, $3,200 or something?
I think something like that. Yeah. For
a
just
set
of QS3s. Yeah.
If you get the velocities, like if you get a Chaos boost, you get the velocities on it, you can send those out and have them revalved for your weight. Being completely honest, don't have any experience on those, but I've heard from multiple people that it's a big difference.
It will help, yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee it will help, yeah.
So you could do that, but it's still not as cheap as I thought. I looked last year.
I feel like it was like $1,500 or something, wasn't it? For to get it, send them off and get them revalved.
Yeah, or $1,000 or something, which is worth it.
It's cheaper, yeah.
It's way cheaper. Yeah. But you can argue you get more money if you buy the Foxes.
Yep. We made that initial investment of the aftermarket shocks with the intentions of their chassis hasn't changed in so many years. I bet next year they won't again.
Yeah.
So we just keep rolling those shocks over to the next year.
Exactly. So suspension, that's a good point. It's an investment, and you can take it until they change things, which who knows when they're going to do that. But you can always get them rebuilt. I know Fox is at Heydays, they were running a promotion, 25% off to get them rebuilt.
Yep.
So they're as good as new. After you get them rebuilt, or that's what they claim.
Yeah, they are. They truly are. Yeah.
And so it's not that big of a deal. Obviously, to fork out the money in the beginning is a big deal, but to get them rebuilt and keep them on a sled is not that big of a deal. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, the Backwoods setup. Okay, it's the same as AJ.
Yeah.
You have a lot of stuff in the front and a lot of stuff in the back that can go wrong on impact. I used to not run bumpers. I'd run the stock Polaris piece of pop can on the front.
Yeah.
And you tap something, dude, and your nose you looks
hit a willow and it just folds and you're like, oh, shit, did I hit something?
Yeah. So the Backwoods is great. I think they look good. I have tested out, especially the back bumper. I've tested that sucker out.
You have.
And it has not failed me. So I was folding the tunnel over and over again before the Backwoods, put it on, and now it's fine. Okay. And I'm thinking about this. I've talked about this in other videos, but this is for 25.
Yeah.
So things are a little different. Okay. So Backwoods setup.
Did you see when we were up riding that one day on Freeman with Marcus and Brad, and Marcus hit that tree? Did you watch him nail that aspen?
I heard you guys say that.
So it was insane. He was on, I can't remember what sled he was on. It was the 146, yep. Yeah. And a Backwoods bumper on the front and back. But this aspen was probably 12 to 15 inches around. Now, it was a dead aspen. It wasn't alive. But I don't know what. 15, it was it was a big diameter tree. And I'm looking back and I just see this tree falling and then Marcus at it. I don't know what happened, what he did, but he nailed that thing square and just punched it. He must have been just playing through him and then got a little squirrely.
You got a little squirrely?
Just nailed that thing. Knocked this tree over. And we get back onto the trail and he's like, "Did you see me hit that tree?" And I was like, "I did." And he gets off and he looks and the bumper's barely tweaked up a little bit. So he just gives her a nice little pop kick. Good as new. The thing
that
took
messed him
hit.
up.
Yeah. And I mean, the tree was dead and probably somewhat rotten. Yes. But when it fell over, the whole tree fell over. It's not like, so it had some density to it still.
Yeah.
But like that is a testament to their stuff. Like when you watch them do their stump test and everything, like it's no bullshit. They're good.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt your
No,
thing.
no, I enjoyed it. Okay, the fourth thing is like AJ called them controls, handlebar setup. Okay, and by the way, we didn't collab on this.
No, we did. We made
is
this separate. Yeah.
So with bars, if you have an older Polaris, you need to get a throttle block. That's just the truth. If you have a 25, you don't. It looks like they fixed it.
We'll see.
Yeah. But the thing is with the stock Polaris bars, I don't mind them, but you don't realize how much a difference getting a bar that actually fits you with the, you know, the width and the actual rise of the bar. It just feels so much better. It allows you to get in a better position and it makes me more comfortable. And on top of that, I like the softer grips.
Yep.
It just is, it's just as better. And they're tougher from my experience. RSI is at least.
If they feel better and you're more comfortable on it, then mentally you're going to do better on it.
And they're
That's
not
all
really
there is.
that expensive for something that crucial.
I was just running the numbers the other day, and it's like for like under $300, I think you can do like a full control setup.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty affordable.
Yeah. Okay, my last one, and this is where I kind of went back and forth. My last one is a skins hood because I would say either a skins hood or an exhaust. But I'm going to say skins hood now, and I'll tell you why. Okay, it's pretty expensive for what it is.
Yep.
But it takes a lot of weight off.
And when it takes that weight off on the Polaris, it takes it off up high,
Yeah.
which is crucial on the boost.
Yeah, up high, and it makes it look cool, in my opinion. So it all runs back to looking cool.
It's all that matters.
Yeah, and I like a lot of the guys that are running cameras like to have a skins hood. It's just more heated, you know, storage compartments for batteries, stuff like that. The front pocket on the hood, I wouldn't trust to put batteries in because it always burns a hole in that bag.
That's where you put your panini.
Yeah, bingo.
Roaster.
But the top one is good, and I put GoPro batteries and stuff like that in it, so, and gloves or whatever. So that would be my 5. Okay, my bonus ones that I'm not going to get all the way into are a wrap. You gotta have the wrap.
Gotta have it.
DuraPro setup, so the DuraPro tether and the ski rubbers.
Okay.
The Boondocker tunnel dump exhaust.
Yep.
I've had experiences where I'm bogging in deep snow, turning to the right. They said that they kind of work through that. I had it with the 22, but I just go with the Boondocker exhaust. It sounds good. It lightens the sled up, and there's no way that I've ever bogged one of these sleds, even running a ton of power in deep, sugary snow. I haven't, and obviously wet snow too. Last one is Seco seat cover. Dude, not only does it change the look of your sled, and it's fairly inexpensive for sled upgrades.
Yep.
The Polaris seat
So slick.
is so slick, and when I'm tired on the way home, and I'm just getting like slid back and forth, I'm like, So that's like way comfortable to just sit on, and I got my styrofoam knee pads up there, and I just chill on the way home. So
I'm surprised that wasn't number 1 on your list.
yeah, it would have been, but I forgot. So sorry about that. But yeah, that's kind of my upgrades. There's a bunch of stuff that we've done to our sleds that's not on this list. But I think that would give me, and maybe some of you, a huge change in riding experience.
Yeah, those things are pretty big. Like those are life changing. I'm gonna say life changing,
Ride changing
experience for sure.
But the other thing too, like with the bumpers, it's like, well, dude, that's like $700. It's like, okay,
yeah.
well, you just bought a $22,000 snowmobile, okay, and you're just gonna run the risk of not having anything on it.
You fold the tunnel once, and then your sled's totaled.
Yeah.
So
And I've done that.
you've done that. It happens. It happens very easily. So it's bumpers definitely worth it.
Yeah, and I like how they go all the way down the.
It stretches. It ties in to the structure. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but like when it ties all the way in back here, yeah, it's not in focus. But anyway, where he's pointing there, it ties in to the structure of where your skid frame bolts. So it takes all that pressure all the way through your tunnel and then ties it into that support. That way, if you made a pyramid out of it, that's where it ties it in. It structurally ties in on the framework of the snowmobile, which is huge. Like that takes the pressure away from those, twisters and doohickeys that we like to do. So that's kind of our essentials, and hopefully you guys are getting excited for the season. Dude,
Our
I'm fired
first
up.
ride might be kind of soon.
I hope so. It's snowing right now, so
Yeah,
I'm fired up.
I'm fired up.
Let's get her going.
Yep. So if you guys have any questions on mods, there again, this is our opinion. We go on. I could go for another 3 hours about things to do to your sled to make it better.
Yep. We could break it all down like very minusculely.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, but that's kind of the basics. If you guys want to hear more about these sled builds and everything like that, drop it in the comments. If you have certain questions, we'll be more likely to shoot a pod on that to answer that question. So drop it in the comments, like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. Until next time, let her eat.
See ya.